room is large, imposing, and dark, except for the glow of computer screens providing an eerie light, illuminating rows of clear vertical cylinders filled with a viscous liquid that runs along either side of the room. Inside the cylinders are brutish demons, their savage forms, monstrous, suspended in a dormant state. Their arms hang limply at their sides, their vicious tails coiled. The blinking red light from the surveillance camera casts a spooky shadow on the wall, falling onto a surgical chamber. A hulking black beast rests in a deep slumber. Its hardened skin, layers of burned black scales, with long, powerful talon-like fingers affixed to massive hands appearing claw-like. Its foul head is enormous and grotesque, adorned with two evil curved, pointed horns. Two smaller horns protrude from its infernal face. Its maw sinister jaw jagged, razor-sharp teeth. A portly guard sits outside a heavy door, dozing off. A group of black-clad mercenaries, wearing tactical vests and helmets, move down the corridor. They tote various field bags, outfitted with knives and grenades. Their assault rifles trained, fingers off the trigger, ready for war. Two clergymen, one African the other Guatemalan, dressed in black cassocks, drag at the rear. Large gold crosses hang from their necks, their heads bowed piously, hands clasped in front of them, muttering scripture. They carry golden thuribles suspended from chains, wafting frankincense, creating a smoke trail, the sounds of a quick scuffle, and then the mercenaries storm the room, taking charge. Suddenly, the beast's eyes open, red and yellow, like a demonic dragon. They reach the far end of the lab, where they see the beast trapped in the chamber. The African clergyman, Desmond, steps forward, wafts incense. He genuflects, making the sign of the cross, removing a small case from his pocket. Desmond opens it, gripping an aspergillum. He flings holy water around the room, speaking in a thick accent. In the name of God, we command you to obey. The beast stirs, wailing an otherworldly howl. The Guatemalan clergyman, Bautista, genuflects, making the sign of the cross, also removes a small case from his pocket. Bautista opens it, grasping an aspergillum. He flings holy water onto the chamber, speaking with a slight accent. The old one, the chosen one, we compel you to obey. The demons move in the cylinders, coming alive. The mercenaries exchange unnerved glances, tensing. Abaddon, Archangel of the Abyss, God's right hand, the Destroyer. We command you to obey. The beast, Abaddon, screeches like a banshee, thrashing and fighting the chamber. Desperate to break free, the demons go berserk, in a state of ferocious agitation, clawing against the cylinders, gnashing their hideous teeth, bashing the walls of their prisons, hellbent on getting down. The lead mercenary, Jane, 30s, Japanese, hard as gunmetal, flares her eyes, gears churning. A gnarly scar runs across her disfigured cheek. Her steely-eyed glare, fixed on Abaddon. What is this? Quiet. Jane clenches her teeth. Icy. The second-in-command mercenary, Mitchell, 40s, African-American, grinds his teeth. He gives Jane a grizzled look, moving to her 6. The other mercenaries, Aquino, 30s, Filipino, Garcia, 40s, Mexican, and Graham, 20s, Indian, eye each other, moving into a triangle formation behind Mitchell. A well-oiled, battle-tested battalion. Suddenly, the laboratory doors swing open. A scientist, Rachel, 30s, Peruvian, pulls a lever on the wall. A deafening siren sounds. Red flashing lights pulse in the hallway behind her. She snatches a telephone from the wall, shouting into the receiver, "We have a breach. Get to the lab." Jane fires, blasting the phone to pieces. Rachel jumps, rattled. "Please, listen to me. You can't release it." Jane levels her gun at Rachel. Dead bang. "Get on the ground. Don't fucking move." Rachel drops to her knees, falling on her stomach, panicked. "You don't know what you're doing." Desmond stares daggers at Rachel, outraged. "This is the Lord's work." Bautista gives Rachel a zealous glare. "Don't interfere. You can't control it." The mercenaries hesitate, exchanging troubled glances. Jane looks over her shoulder, eyeing the cylinders. Are they aliens? Rachel swallows the lump in her throat. Frightened. They're demons. Jane's brow furrows, growing concern. You said there were human prisoners in here. Bautista scowls. You get paid when the mission is accomplished. So, follow orders and shut up. The way Jane cracks her neck from side to side indicates that she won't be disrespected a third time. Desmond and Bautista continue chanting manically. The King of Kings, the Most High, commands thee. Ram books, feeling scared. The fuck is this? What are we doing here? It's an incantation. A what? A spell. Jane glances at Mitchell over it. Fuck the money. We're out of here. The mercenaries grunt agreement. You will obey. You must obey. Suddenly, the power goes out. The glow from the computer screen snaps off. The mercenaries switch on flashlights affixed to their helmets. Elohim awakens you. Elohim commands you. Abaddon bashes the chamber, causing it to spiderweb. Desmond and Bautista reach into their pockets, wielding daggers. They slice open their hands, taking hold of their crosses, bleeding on them. Yehu binds you. Desmond and Bautista raise their gold crosses, now shining with unknown energy. The light brightens the room. Suddenly, Abaddon and the demons fall still, obedient. Rachel pleads with them. We nearly lost everything trying to study it. It must be annihilated. Desmond and Bautista steal glances, unfazed. Okino eyeballs them freaked out. The fuck is wrong with you? This is God's will. Fuck that, blasphemer. The beast will restore the church to its rightful place in the world. Mitchell's jaw drops, doing the calculus in his head. You're gonna use that to scare people to Jesus? Bautista grins like a madman. You're both insane. Bautista moves toward the chamber. Stop. They were human. Before it turned them, it can't harm us. Bautista leans in, leering at the atrocious face of the behemoth. A furious rage swirls behind Abaddon's devilish eyes. As long as I have this, I am your master. Bautista taunts Abaddon with the enchanted cross, giving a perverted smirk, then draws a pistol from his deep pocket, firing in one fluid motion. No, the chamber shatters. Like a rocket launched from hell, Abaddon leaps to its gigantic feet, towering over Bautista, tearing through his chest, ripping out his beating heart. Holy shit. Bautista spirals to the floor in a bloody heap of carnage, clutching the blood-soaked cross. Desmond raises his cross. Afraid, I command you to submit. Abaddon emits a hellish roar. Desmond backpedals horror-stricken, realizing he holds no power over Abaddon. Abaddon springs across the room onto Desmond, sinking its teeth into his face with a frightful viciousness, brutally consuming Desmond's head. Suddenly, 3 guards rush into the room, guns aimed. When they see Abaddon slashing Desmond to pieces, they freeze, paralyzed with dread. We have to incinerate him before he turns. Garcia is in shock, scared stiff. Given lead, Jane shoots at Abaddon. The bullets bounce off its armor-like skin. Mitchell springs to action, firing. Get it together, soldiers. Ram starts blasting. Okino and Garcia snap out of it, firing. The guards squeeze their triggers, hitting the cylinders, shattering the perspex. The demons scramble out, moving fast. One pounces onto Guard 1, ripping off his face. He screams. Guard 2 trains his gun, blasting the demon on Guard 1. The demon screeches, immediately mounts Guard 2, ravaging his chest with its claws. He yells in pain, trying to knock it off. Guard 1 moans, doubled over, clutching his face, bleeding like a sieve. It hurts. I'm burning. We have to destroy them, now. All of a sudden, demonic Bautista rises to his feet, his face fixed in a menacing scowl. Fear spreads across Rachel's face. She scrambles for the door. Abaddon roars, unfurling massive wings from its broad back. It takes flight, flying out of the room. The demons leap onto the walls, digging into the surface, rampaging after it. Garcia's jaw drops, spooked. Dios mio. Jane charges up to Rachel. Is there another way out of here? Rachel points to the way Abaddon and the demons went. Fuck. Mitchell powers up to Jane, scared shitless. What's the play? Staying alive. Demonic Bautista lurches towards them, shrieking like a ghoul. Mitchell pivots, emptying his clip into Bautista. He reloads with expert precision, ready to fire again. Demonic Bautista careens and somersaults, dropping to the ground riddled with bullets. We got to get out of here. Without warning, Demonic Bautista rises to his feet. Rachel stares in wild-eyed fright, shaking like she's having a nervous breakdown. There's no escape. Guard 1 and Guard 2 rise to their feet, twisting over. Their eyes are sunken in, turning red. Their skin thickens, turning black, transformed into demons. They growl, slashing Guard 3. He screams as he goes tumbling to the ground. Fuck. Rachel watches, paralyzed with dread as Demonic Guard 1 and Demonic Guard 2 attack Guard 3 with tremendous ferocity. Before Rachel can recover, Demonic Bautista seizes her, splitting her body in two. Move it. The mercenaries make their way down the cavernous corridor, screaming and wailing echo in the darkness ahead. I don't like this. No shit. Save it. You too. Keep your heads on a swivel. Stay frosty. I'm going to pierce my pants. I've never seen anything like this. That doesn't matter now. They push farther into the darkened hall. Jane peers into the inky black phalanx. Mitchell gets shoulder to shoulder with Jane. Aquino is shoulder to shoulder with Mitchell. Garcia stands beside Jane's other shoulder. Ram butts up against him. They move in sync. Step for step, guns leveled. A horrifying noise, like a million whispers, hellspeak, fills the hall. And then they see a gruesome sight. Blood and guts dripping from the walls, forming puddles on the floor. Suddenly, demon guards and demon scientists emerge from the shadows. The entire building's personnel possessed. Their fierce eyes glow with a sinister gleam. Demonic Bautista, Demonic Guard 1, Demonic Guard 2, and Demonic Guard 3 rush them from behind. They're flanking us. Demons fall off the ceiling, charging from the front, surrounding them. Ambush. Abaddon looms up ahead, a horrifying vision to behold. You will burn. Mitchell, Garcia, Aquino, and Ram squeeze their triggers, unloading their clips. Jane gives a grenade.